Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the SALT Umbrella Pension and Provident Fund two-part retirement system presentation. We are just waiting for a few more attendees. If you'll bear with us for the next 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to give them an opportunity to join, and then we'll kick off for today. Thank you very much. Okay, I think let's get going. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nazli Seegers. I am the Chief Operations Officer or the Chief Experience Officer for SALT Employee Benefits, and we would like to welcome you to the SALT Umbrella Two-Part Retirement System webinar today. I think today is the 9th of July. I hope everybody is warm. It is very cold outside. Hopefully we give you some insights today and allay any concerns you may have as employers. Just some housekeeping rules. The communications manager for SALT is manning the Teams box, so I can't see hands when they go up. It's a fairly small session, so Bianca, I think as the hands go up, we'll stop on that slide and take the questions if you don't mind. We do have to unmute you, so please wait until the communication manager tells you that you've been unmuted before you ask your question. Once we unmute from our side, you'll need to unmute from your side, and then you can ask your question. Alternatively, you will see on the right-hand side of the screen, there is a chat box. You can put your questions in the chat box, and Bianca will let me know that there's a question so that I can address it. We have quite a full agenda today. Please note that the presentation, all the slides, and any frequently asked questions will be made available post the session. Bianca will be sure to send those out to you, all of your employers. And I think that that's it. Thank you to all of the employers, all of the trustees, the SALT Employee Benefits team, and all of the other stakeholders that have joined us today. We hope that you'll enjoy the session and that it will give you all of the information that is required. So what will we be covering today? So the first item is what is two-part? I think we've seen it in the media. A lot of us think we understand it. So let's just make sure that we're all on the same page. Why the two-part system? How it will work? What is seed capital? Who qualifies for the two-part system? The impact of withdrawing funds? What to consider as members? Frequently asked questions, and then, like I said, usually we do the Q&A at the end, but we're very happy to take your questions during the presentation. Okay, so what is the two-part system? So the two-part system is a reform enabling retirement fund members to make partial withdrawals from their retirement funds before retirement. In a lot of instances, we see members when they run into financial difficulties resigning from their jobs in order to enable them to withdraw their retirement fund savings so they can take care of those financial constraints. What two-part does is it gives members access to a portion of their retirement savings with the other portion, so the 1/3 is made available of new contributions for them to access, with the other 2/3 being locked in for retirement. So while members are able to withdraw from the retirement funds, it does safeguard the portion that remains accessible only upon retirement. And in this, the thinking behind it is that this will enhance overall retirement outcomes. What we see right now is that every time a member changes jobs or resigns from the employer, they withdraw the entire retirement fund savings, and so they keep starting from ground zero. Two-pot will mean that retirement pot is locked in, and so at least the 2/3 of their contributions from the 1st of September will be locked in and will continue to grow irrespective of their exiting employers. It means that members facing financial hardship don't need to resign anymore, and it's very important to understand that the vested and non-vested pots, which we come to later, those rights remain. So we don't expect members to be resigning en masse. Just to avoid the two-pot system. All of their monies up to the 31st of August 2024, they will still be able to withdraw that, even if they only exit the fund in 2 or 3 years' time. The rights that the member enjoys on those monies will continue to stay enforced. The implementation of this reform is planned to commence on the 1st of September 2024. I'm sure we're all aware that the President has signed the Revenue Laws Amendment Bill, but that there are still 2 more bills that need to be signed by the President. I believe that he has a number of those. So we know that it's been an election year and the government's been busy with putting together the Government of National Unity. The industry continues to prepare for the 1st of September 2024. Remember, the President can sign the bill at midnight on the 31st of August, and funds will still need to be ready. So we're not seeing that as a stop, an absolute stop at this point in time. We continue to prepare for the 1st of September 2024. Why the two-pot system? Like we said, it's aimed at helping you save for retirement. I think that all of us in the meeting are aware that the social grant system is overextended at this point in time due to the high unemployment rates we see in the country. More than that, the social grant is really not sufficient for monthly income for households. I think for retirement, that grant is 2,100 Rand. I speak under correction, but roughly just over 2,000 Rand at this point in time. And that clearly can't sustain an entire household. So we've got to make some plans to enhance our retirement outcomes, and that's where the two-pot system comes from. So like I said, many members resign from their jobs just to gain access to their retirement savings, to do stuff like pay off debt or fix their cars or stuff like that. This negatively impacts their retirement savings because it means that at age 40, if they resign, they're starting from zero base again. At age 50, if they resign, they're starting from a zero base again. And so they don't have sufficient time to save enough to have an adequate replacement ratio when they leave their employers at retirement stage. A replacement ratio basically means the amount of savings that you have, how long that will last you at retirement. So at what rate does it replace your income? So if you've saved insufficiently, I think currently the number in South Africa is about 20% of people have, or much less than that. I think the current replacement ratio in the country is close to the 20% mark, meaning that if you earn as an individual 10,000 Rand per month, if you're retired with the retirement savings that you have, you're only retiring with an income of 2,000 Rand per month. So if you go from 10,000 to 2,000, you can see how that puts strain on the households. So the two-pot system allows you to dip into your savings early, meaning that you can access the money early if you really need to. But we do need to impress upon employers, members, unions, brokers, everybody across the value chain that we really need to be advising members not to access their savings unless they really, really need to. Emergencies mean different things to different people. For some people, it's a handbag. For other people, it's a motor car. For other people, it's a death. So, there's no way of saying to a person, this is not an emergency for you. So funds, I don't think, are going that route, but they do need to encourage people really only to utilize the savings component if it's the only option that they have. Again, currently, no one can access the retirement funds while still employed. The current legislation as it stands does not allow it. You'll recall that there were some discussions when we discussed two-pot in the legislature. about retrenchment, allowing people to access their retirement pots. The legislation has not been updated as yet. They may do it in future bills, but currently it is not allowed. So how will it work? I think to start with two-part, let's first go back to the 1st of September, to the 1st of March 2021. On the 1st of March 2021, the T-Day or the annuitization legislation was introduced. And what that did was it essentially converted all funds to pension funds. So the difference between a provident fund and a pension fund used to be that in a provident fund, you could access 100% of your benefit in cash at retirement, whereas with a pension fund, you can only access 1/3 in cash and 2/3 need to be utilized to buy an annuity. So on the 1st of March 2021, legislation aligned those two. So all new contributions from the 1st of March 2021 were treated in a non-vested pot. So the non-vested pot at retirement, you can only have 1/3 in cash and 2/3 in an annuity. Whereas in the vested pot, which has all your contributions up to 28 February 2021, all of those contributions you are eligible to take in cash at retirement. This, of course, does not apply to members over 55. Members over 55, as at the 1st of March 2021, were allowed to continue to just contribute to their vested pots, meaning that they didn't default into the non-vested option. And that's important for two-pot because those same members that were defaulted into the vested pot will also be defaulted out of the two-pot system, meaning that they won't be automatically enrolled into the two-pot system on the 1st of September 2024, but we'll get into more details about that later. So the two-pot so T-Day in 2021 split your contributions to vested and non-vested pots. Those are the pots that will be used to seed the brand new pots. So on the 1st of September 2024, we will have a savings pot added and a retirement pot added. All members that were under 55 as at the 1st of March 2021 and members who were 55 and over on the 1st of March 2021, but have subsequently changed funds, meaning that their date joined fund is after the 1st of March 2021, will be auto-enrolled into the two-pot system, meaning that on the 1st of September 2024, we will create two new pots for those members. That is the savings pot and the retirement pot. Now, the savings pot, there will be a 10% seed capital allocation. So we will look at the values in the vested and the non-vested pots. And we will take 10% of the values in that pots to a maximum of 30,000 Rand. If a person has 100,000 in the vested pot and 100,000 in the non-vested pot, 10% of each of those are 20,000. So we'll only seed with 20,000. But if the person has 300,000 in the vested and 300,000 in the non-vested, 10% is 60,000. So we will max it out at 30,000. So we'll only take 15,000 from vested and 15,000 from non-vested. So the savings pot will receive a transfer of 30,000 after the 1st of September 2024, sorry. Then going forward, all new contributions from the 1st of September 2024 will be split 1/3 into your savings pot and 2/3 into your retirement pot. Remember, the savings pot is the one that you can allow to grow, and you can withdraw from that pot at least once per tax year. The remaining 2/3 will be put into the retirement pot, which cannot, under any circumstances, be accessed before retirement unless they amend the law. But currently, as it stands, it cannot be accessed. So we've spoken about the accumulated retirement savings until the 31st of August in those vested and non-vested pots. And if you had a fund credit of 250,000 between those two pots, then we would be seeding 25,000 into the savings pot. So after the 1st of September, the savings pot will get a deposit of 25,000 Rand. Then from the 1st of September, all of the new contributions that you contribute. So let's use a member whose monthly contribution is 1,500. 500 of that contribution, which is 1/3, will be allocated to the savings pot. and 2/3 or 1,000 Rand will be allocated to the retirement pot. So you'll see how after the 1st of September, we have 25,000 in the savings pot. But once we've allocated the September contributions in October, that balance will be 25,500. And that pot will continue to grow. The balance for retirement will be 1,000 Rand at the end of September, once we've allocated the contribution. So the pots will continue to grow. The savings pot, if you do not access the savings pot, it will continue to grow, and there is no maximum on the withdrawal. So if you saved, if we had the seed capital of 25,000 and we allocated 500 Rand every month, in 2 or 3 years' time, you could have as much as 50,000 in that pot. And if at that time you had a true emergency, you could then withdraw the entire amount from the pot. Again, you can only withdraw from the savings pot once per year, once per tax year, and there's no maximum, but there is a minimum. So let's look at the 4 pots. So vested and non-vested pots, there'll be no further contributions. These are for normal members. So when I say normal, I mean members that will be auto-enrolled into the 2-pot system. So not your over 55s that have the vested pot only. So no further contributions into those pots for all other members. The pots remain invested by the retirement fund. Those pots won't stagnate. They'll continue to grow. They will remain invested in the market and they'll continue to grow. The vested rights are maintained. This is so important. The vested rights are maintained for future resignation or transfers to a preservation fund. Members don't need to resign now. There's no difference whether they resign now or they resign in 6 months' time as far as it relates to the vested and non-vested pots. Their rights remain. So if they resigned, let's say next year, June, they would still be able to withdraw their vested and non-vested pots in cash. They can withdraw upon resignation or retrenchment. The savings pot is accessible at any time during the year. The fund hasn't put in a window, so it's available at any time during the year. The minimum withdrawal amount. So in order to be able to access your savings pot, the minimum amount that we require in the pot is 2,000 Rand. There's one withdrawal per tax year, and it's taxed at the individual's marginal tax rate. The tax on the savings pot is much more aggressive than the tax charged at retirement, for example. So it's very important that members understand that they will be taxed at their individual's marginal tax rate. For some, that's higher than for others. In addition, that there will more than likely be a withdrawal fee that will be charged to the member when they withdraw from the savings pot. There is no maximum withdrawal limit. There is only a single withdrawal per tax year, and you can empty the entire pot. There is a minimum on the pot of 2,000 Rand, like we said. The retirement pot remains accessible only at retirement. It has got to be preserved until retirement, and it cannot be accessed upon resignation or retrenchment. Okay, so seed capital, like we said, it's 10% to a maximum of 30,000. So essentially, the quick sum is anyone who has a benefit of 300,000 and less will get 10% of their fund credit. Anybody 301,000 and above, so over 300,000, they will be capped at the 30,000 seed capital. So we'll only move 30,000 into the savings pot. So what happens when you leave your employer? Again, the old withdrawal rules will apply on the vested and non-vested pots, meaning that the members can access their cash. You can only withdraw from the savings pot after the 1st of September 2024. There's no withdrawals allowed at this point in time. Only once per year and only if you have a minimum of 2,000 in the pot. It's very important for members to understand that even if they have 2,000 in the pot, it doesn't mean that that's what they'll get out. As we said, there is a tax deduction as well as a fee deduction. Then there's no withdrawal from the retirement pot allowed. Who qualifies? The transition to the 2-pot retirement system is automatic for all retirement fund members, so auto-enrollment, except for individuals who were 55 years old on the 1st of March 2021. Provident Fund members aged 55 and above on the 1st of March will not be automatically enrolled into the 2-pot system, but they do have the option to opt in within the next 12 months. This can be done by submitting an application to the fund Those forms will be are ready, and they will be distributed to participating employers before the end of July 2024, so we can start engaging our members who are 55 and above on whether they would like to opt in to the two-part system or remain opted out. Once members elect to join the two-part system, it's very important that they understand that their decision cannot be reversed. So if they do elect to join the two-part system, they will forever have 4 parts. They can't go back and have vested rights like they do currently. The opt-in form will be made available before the end of this month. Okay, so the impact of withdrawing from the savings pot, we are belaboring the point of tax. It's very important for members to understand that the savings pot will be taxed as part of the member's taxable income and based on their marginal tax rate. Also, if there are any outstanding SARS payments due, so if they have an IT88 or any of those items, that will be also taken off the savings pot before we pay to the member. It's advised that the fund should be reserved for genuine emergencies rather than day-to-day expenses. It's really critical that we urge our members to stay invested for as long as possible so that we have a good replacement ratio on retirement. All withdrawals will be subject to a withdrawal fee and tax deductions. So if the member's got 2,500 in his pot and his marginal tax rate is 20%, let's call it, then that's 20% of 2,500. So we're already talking about 400 Rand, 500 Rand. Then there's a withdrawal fee. So you'll see how the amount that they have is already significantly less than the 2,500 that they want to withdraw. So benefit minus tax minus withdrawal fee will be equal to the net value that the member receives, which will be substantially lower than what he withdraws from the pot. So we urge employers to urge members not to withdraw unless it is absolutely necessary. So we're saying that our members should carefully consider their options and seek advice from accredited financial advisors before withdrawing from the savings pot. They need to save as much as they can while they're able to. Don't make hasty decisions. And then if they wait to withdraw the money from the savings component until retirement, it will definitely attract less tax and gain the compound interest from the fund. Prioritizing their retirement savings, avoiding actions not in their best interest will mean prolonged investment yields, which mean greater benefits over time. So it's very important that we have members consider these things when they're looking at the two-pot. 2 items that are critical for withdrawal in the two-pot scenario is tax registration. Members need to make sure, number 1, that they are a registered taxpayer. Number 2, that their tax affairs are in order. You will all be aware that as part of two-pot, the administrator and the fund need to apply for a tax directive from SARS, and every individual, even if they put in a claim with us 6 times, if they don't give us a tax number, we won't be able to pay that claim. The second critical item for two-pot is that they have to be registered on the member portal. They can register on the portal by sending a WhatsApp message to 078 248 0529. I'm going to repeat that, 078 248 0529. They just message hi and then they follow the prompts to register on the portal. It's critical because this will be the only way that two-pot claims will be accepted is via this portal. There will be no mailboxes run on two-pot, no physical claim forms run on two-pot. All claims for savings pot will be processed through the member portal. You'll see it's very important for us that you understand that all savings pot withdrawals will be lodged through the SALT Umbrella Fund member portal, and they send a WhatsApp on 078 248 0529 to register. Okay, the savings pot should only be accessed in cases of emergency. It's important that members understand it's not a use it or lose it concept. So meaning that the savings pot will continue to grow. Even if they don't withdraw for 5 years, that balance will continue to grow with the new contributions and the investment returns. Withdrawals before retirement, not may, will be subject to tax deductions and fees. The implementation date still sits at the 1st of September, and we do await the final signature on the legislation. So from a frequently asked questions point of view, how often can I withdraw? Members will be allowed one withdrawal per tax year. One withdrawal per tax year. A tax year runs from the 1st of March to the 28th or the 29th of February annually. So if a member withdraws, let's say an eager member, and they withdraw in September this year, they will not be able to withdraw again until after the 1st of March 2025. The minimum withdrawal amount is 2,000 Rand from the savings pot, but again, that does not mean that they will be receiving 2,000 Rand. That 2,000 Rand is subject to tax and fees. Is the money withdrawn from the savings pot alone? Absolutely not. Members are withdrawing their own cash, meaning that they are eating into their retirement fund savings. It's not a loan from the fund that can be replenished. They are reducing their savings in the retirement fund. Is there a maximum withdrawal amount? No. A member can withdraw the full balance from the savings pot each year. Whatever is available in the savings pot can be withdrawn in totality. Will I be able to withdraw my vested pot when I resign? Yes. It's very important that members understand that the 1st of September doesn't take away their rights to their vested and non-vested pots upon resignation or retrenchment. So the current fund rules will apply, and the SARS tax tables for withdrawals will apply. Can I take my retirement pot in cash when I resign? No, the retirement pot money cannot be accessed. It can only be accessed at retirement by purchasing an annuity if applicable. I think that brings us to the end of the session, ladies and gentlemen. So we will move into Q&A right now. Bianca, I'm not sure if we have any questions as yet. Maybe I've made everyone fall asleep.
Not at the moment, Nez. Yeah, maybe we can just give it a minute or two, and then we'll start attending to the questions.
Happiness. Just as a reminder, there's a little hand at the top of the screen. You can click there if you'd like to raise your hand and ask a question. Alternatively, there is a chat box or a Q&A box where you can type any questions that you may have. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Maybe we did a good job. Wait, there's a
not at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Audrey.
I do have, Audrey. Let me quickly unmute Audrey. Audrey, I have unmuted your mic. If you could do the same on your side. Audrey,
thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thanks,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm a little bit worried that this will probably be implemented. You said the 1st of September, and we are currently on the 9th of July as we sit now. We have over 300 employees, and I think this is something that will need to be communicated to them. They need to make a decision, especially because now of the different ports that they cannot access their money, all their money when they are not necessarily retrenched, when they are dismissed or when they abscond or when they resign, So I think this is a big thing that really needs to be communicated to all the members, and not just by me as an employer. Hello, can you still hear me?
I can.
Yes, Audrey.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, as the employer, yes, I'll have to communicate this, but I think this is something that SALT need to come. I'm in the Eastern Cape. You need to come and go and present this to the members. They need to have an option whether they want to take all their money now, or if they are happy with the pot. I understand the port and the vested and the non-vested. I think it's a good idea, but we live in South Africa. When people just realize now that if I'm dismissed or if I resign, I will not be able to get all my money. It will just cost me and a huge problem. So I think we need to do this differently. I think September is too close. You need to consult, go and do a presentation. People need to understand. People need to agree. I know it's going to be low still, but I think we need to do it right and do proper communication just to help us as the employer, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you for that. So we do have a team. Wimpie and his team do travel to the employers. Can I ask employers that would like on-site sessions to just pop their details in the chat box, and we will make sure that we have our teams reach out to you. Alternatively, when we circulate the slides, if you'll respond to that email saying that you'd prefer for a consultant and give us your preferred date so we can ensure that we have a consultant come out and present to POT. Bianca will also share with you the flyers and the communication that's gone out that we've drafted for members so that you can share that with your members. So we're very happy to do that for you. Pardon me, if you'll just let us know. I see that we have a question in the chat box. It says, just to confirm that your benefits must be at 20,000 for the first 2,000 savings to become available. Minimum withdrawal will be 2,000. So that's correct, sir. So if you only have 10,000 on the 31st of August, we will seed 1,000 into the savings pot. And then in September and October, you'll contribute 500 as an example, and then you'll get to the 2,000. So 100% you're on the money. Again, employers, if you'd like a consultant on site, if you'll just pop the name of your employer in the chat box, then Bianca can follow up and ensure that she organizes with Wimpie's team that they can come out and see you. Amber has a question in the Q&A. It says, if someone has money in a preservation fund, can withdrawals be made from that? I'm aware that retirement annuities will be doing the seed capital, but to my knowledge, I'm not sure about preservation funds. Wimpie is on the call. Wimpie, do you have any idea?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can. Thank you very much.
Preservation funds and annuities. What is important there is they are a group of annuities that are not qualifying for this. They're referred to as the legacy retirement annuities. It was up until a specific year, which I unfortunately don't know because we don't do individual policies. But after that, the retirement annuities or your personal retirement annuity will also qualify. So even if you've got 5 retirement annuities, those annuities, the insurer or the company that they are with will actually allocate that 10% also if they qualify. Regarding preservation funds, I'm not clear on that, Naz. I will come back regarding that specific preservation fund issue and just circulate that answer also.
Thank you, Wimpie. We don't administer preservation funds or individual funds, so that's why we don't have the answer, but we're very happy to source it and send it to you. The next question is from Bulelwa Mamani, and she's asking what is the turnaround time for the withdrawals. So we'll send you a written confirmation, but at this point, claims that are lodged. So let's first be clear. We start seeding on the 1st of September. All rules say the fund credit as at the 31st of August. So we start seeding on the 1st of September. It'll probably take us about 4 or 5 days to seed all of the pots, and then members will be able to start putting in claims. The claims pass QA, so if they are lodged via our online portal, the expected turnaround time is probably 2 weeks for payment. That is for savings pot withdrawals. The turnaround time on normal withdrawals remains the normal 6 weeks because there's more administrative work that goes into that. The next question is from Wayne Duvanaga. Will both pots grow at the same rate? Yes, we're not diversifying the investment strategy at this point in time. I think we don't know enough about the withdrawal trends, etc. So it may be that the fund relooks at it after we've got 3 to 6 months of experience for withdrawals, etc. But the unit price applied will be a unit price across the fund. Thank you, Audrey. Vampy, if you'll just take note, Demoso Trading 987 Eastern Cape is the employer that requires the on-site sessions for the members. We're very happy to sort that out for you, Audrey, and we will dispatch a team. Amber, I said thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions from the employers. So maybe to Audrey's point, this is the kickoff of the webinars so that we can start engaging employers, so that we can start giving out the communication. We're very happy that this recording will be made available via online. So Bianca will circulate both the recording and the presentation slides. And so we're happy for you to share that with your members, with the trade unions, with any stakeholders that you deem necessary to have the information. Our teams will be in contact with the over 55 members, both directly and through the employers where required, so we can help them to make those options. Thank you, Vampy. You've got another one. Pongola Cold Storage also needs an on-site session. But we'll start rolling out communication. And now that we have your email addresses and you've attended the session, we'll make sure that you're copied on any and all communication for the umbrella so that you're all up to speed with it. We will check when and engage you. A lot of your members are registered on the member portal already, and they will be sending out communication. Those that aren't registered, we're going to be also sending them opt-ins via our WhatsApp portal. Thank you, Martha. We see Unitrade also needs a session via the WhatsApp portal. So if you can just let your members know that we will be sending out a WhatsApp to those members who aren't registered for them to opt in so that they can get familiar with the portal and the technology prior to September in order for it to make it easier for them to claim or even just to look at their balances and see the seeding, etc. Okay. Our bakehouse, thank you, Wayne Tufunaga. We will make sure that we have Vampy and his team engage on a session, and then A1 Fisheries as well, and David's Kloof. Perfect. B, it doesn't seem like there are any more questions. I think
yes,
maybe just to say
correct.
to the employers that once you've got the presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and ask any questions that you think of after the fact. We're very happy to engage you and to make sure that we have given you all of the necessary information prior to the 1st of September 2024. From myself, Nasli Seegers, thank you very much for attending today and for engaging in the session. I will leave you in the capable hands of Vampy and his team for further communications, and we will let you know when the next webinar is being held. That's it from my side. B, over to you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. I think our next session, which is directed to employers as well as the brokers, will be on the 24th of July. We will be sending out communication regarding that, and we hope to see you there and your colleagues as well. Thank you. Great.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you so much,
Have a good week.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.